Hi guys, welcome to another Barb Stamps video. Today's video is about my Totally Techniques online club and the card that I have created using it for the month of July 2021. My Totally Techniques online club is a club that anyone can join. All you have to do is let me know you want to be in the club and then place a $30 or more order between the 1st and 22nd of each month using my monthly host code. You must use the host code in order to qualify for the cards. And if you order with me for 6 consecutive months, you will then receive a $30 gift certificate from me to purchase whatever you would like in Stampin' Up! Products. So like I said, the card I'm going to demonstrate for you today is this one. It uses the Faux Tearing technique, and I'm going to show you how to do it. It's really cool and super simple. But I did want to let you know that my Fall Stamp-A-Palooza retreat is happening next month in September. And the early bird registration ends August 18th. So if you want to get in on the early bird registration with the $100 swag box, right now it's $149. If you wait until August 19th to register, it'll be $159. There is a gift in your box if you register early. We also have a no box online only version for those of you that may not live in the United States, because I can only ship the swag box to those of you in the United States. If you are not in the US, you can certainly get in on the deal at $60. Or $70 after the date. Now, all the links to all this information will be in the description of this video, so you can click down there and purchase what you would like. In addition to the Fall Stamp-A-Palooza, we are having the Business Palooza also, for those of you that may be demonstrators that want to ramp up your business a little bit. The cost of this is $49 all by itself, or $25 if you add it to one of the previous Stamp-A-Palooza registrations that I talked about. So again, all the information's in the description of this video. If you have any questions at all, please send me an email, barb@barbstamps.com. I am happy to help you. We are currently in the middle of our July to December catalog kickoff party, and we do have a make and take packet available. The make and take packet will make 9 different cards and has approximately $40 in merchandise included in the kit. The $54 charge includes the shipping to you, and the kits will ship out the week of August 23rd, 2021. Again, information about this particular event will be in the description of this video. As you may know, it is celebration time again with Stampin' Up! In the months of August and September 2021. And if you join my team as a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator right now, and honestly, why wouldn't you? If you're already buying Stampin' Up! Products, you should be a demonstrator, and you can save on everything that you buy. And when you sign up with me right now during celebration, you will get to choose one of these 12 bundles as an additional add-on item to your starter kit for free. The original kit is $99 plus tax. You get $125 of merchandise of your choice in the kit, and then you can choose one of these 12 bundles as an additional item in your kit. If you have any questions, you can send me an email. Link in the description of this video. All right, let us get down to business here. Now, my Totally Techniques online club is just that. I have a few of the cards already done. I like to have a few done before I shoot the video, just because I feel like a few cards is just prettier than one card. So anyway, here is the technique. It is called Faux Tearing, and every month people in the club get the finished greeting card, as well as an instruction card with a little sample of the technique on it. So all of my girls will get both of these things in the mail. They are going to be going out this weekend, and let me get the supplies for this and we will get started. All right, this is what I have. I just have an 8.5 by 5.5 inch card base. I have a, what is this? This is 3 15/16 by 5 3/16 inch layer of fresh freesia. I have a 4 by 5 1/4 inch layer for the inside, and then I have a few die cuts here using the Summer Shadows dies. Now this is a free item that you can choose during celebration. It coordinates with the shaded summer stamp set that you can purchase out of the July to December holiday catalog. So you place a $100 order, go ahead and include your shaded summer, and then choose the Summer Shadows dies for free. So we're going to use a few of those. We are also going to be using a background stamp today, and I chose the Wild Roses background stamp. I just think it's beautiful. Now, we do have a number of stamp sets or background sets that will work for this technique, and I just pulled a few out of my stash. We probably have more than this. You probably have other stamps in your collection that will work, but I just felt that these would definitely do it. The candy canes out of the holiday catalog, which of course is what I used to make our little technique instruction card. I felt that the dry brush background stamp would work really well. The festive foliage I thought would be a good one. The spiral die, of course. And now the birch die is one that I would not recommend because it's not very detailed. So you're not going to get a nice bold image up here by using one that's not very detailed. So I think you want to use one that's pretty bold and has a lot to it. Okay. So like I said, we're going to be using the Wild Roses. And I have that on my block right here. And so let me push these things out of the way, except my piece of cardstock. Now, if you're going to use a colored cardstock to start with, like I did on the card, I recommend using a lighter colored cardstock. And then you're going to ink your stamp up in a darker color, okay? So to start out with, you need to take a piece of copy paper. And you need to tear it. And don't just tear it in a straight line. Kind of do a little bit of manipulation. Kind of maybe make it be a little bit wavy if you can. And just like that for a little bit of fun. Okay. So then what you're going to do is you're going to take your layer of cardstock. It can be white or it can be a light color. And you want to block off a bunch of it, a little more than half probably, with your copy paper. Now, if you want to tape this down, you absolutely can. I don't find that it's necessary to do that, so I'm not going to tape mine down. So I want to get this positioned kind of how I would like it to look. Then I'm going to bring in my Blackberry Bliss ink, because Blackberry Bliss goes really well with the Fresh Freesia. Okay, and I'm going to ink it up along the stamp set. And you can see I only need a little bit of this stamp. I don't need to ink up the entire thing, but I need to ink up enough so that it will cover the spot that I have open. Okay, so I feel like that's good. Now I'm going to hold on to it because I didn't have ink up here, so I can hold on to it. And then I'm going to look underneath the stamp. So I'm kind of moving my body down so that I can see underneath here. So I can make sure that the whole stamp is going to cover my cardstock. Okay, and then I'm just going to press it down. Luckily, I have a pretty sturdy table here. Excuse me, a pretty sturdy table that I can stamp it on. And you can see how I did get nice coverage. You can see it did go out around, which is what I wanted. So the next step you're going to do is you're going to take this paper and you're going to move it down just slightly. So you can just barely see that I have moved it down, I don't know, maybe like a 1/16 of an inch or something. Maybe an 1/8. And then I'm going to take a sponge dauber. You could also use one of our blending brushes if that's all you have. I find the sponge dauber to be a little bit better for this technique because it's a smaller, obviously it's quite the smaller head. And so I have a little bit more control where the ink goes, because I am going to then tap my dauber into my ink and I am just going to gently kind of rub it along the edge of my copy paper, adding some of that ink to my cardstock. And again, if you want to tape this down, you absolutely can. I don't find that it's necessary for me. And then I'm just going to keep coming back and I'm just going to keep adding some ink until it's as dark as I want it. So you can have it be super dark or super light. It's up to you. You can go back and you can add some where you've missed. Perhaps if it's not quite as dark. And you can also, if you want, you can just tap the ink. Tap it up and down. So most of my sponge dauber head is on my copy paper. And I'm just going to go around the whole thing, getting it to be dark. And you can easily move your copy paper down to see what effect you're going to get. And then if you don't like it, if you need to add a little bit more, I find it's not too difficult to line that paper back up. So I'm going to add just a tiny bit more on this side. I feel like, when I got to this end, that the ink from my dauber was, kind of used up. So I'm just going to go back and just add a tiny bit more. And again, it's all subjective. You do it whatever looks good to you. Okay. So I think that looks fantastic. And so that part of the technique, that's the technique that's done. So now all we have to do is just assemble our card. So I am going to use this small image from the Shaded Summer stamp set. I've got a large one and a small one. I'm going to go ahead and use that small one. And I am going to end up stamping it on a scrap of copy paper here, or excuse me, white cardstock. And so I've got 3 different markers. I've got the Fresh Freesia, the Soft Succulent, and then the Blackberry Bliss. So I'm going to start out by doing the marker to stamp technique. And when you do this, you want to make sure you're not using the tip of your marker. Otherwise you will damage it and it won't be worse. You won't be able to like get nice fine lines. So I'm just using the side of my marker to get the ink onto my stamp. And I'm just going to get all the foliage. And I'm just holding the stamp in my hand, and then I can turn it so that I am taking the marker and I am hitting the stamp and pulling the marker towards me to get the ink on there. And so if you're just careful, it doesn't take too entirely long to get this done. But it's a really cool effect on these stamps that, you might want to color. I know people have asked me if you can use Stampin' Blends on this. No, you cannot. Stampin' Blends would be like using a Sharpie. It would stain your stamp, it will dry on your stamp, and it will not transfer to your paper. So do not use a Stampin' Blend. Okay, so I am going to speed up the video now while I finish this up. I'm going to do this large flower in the Freesia and then the smaller ones in the Blackberry Bliss. All right, now I did get some ink where I don't want it. So I'm going to bring in a blender pen. You can see I got some Blackberry Bliss ink right here where I would actually want it to be a stem. So I want it to be the Soft Succulent, and right here also. So I'm just going to use a blender pen to remove that Blackberry Bliss ink. And then I'll come back with my Soft Succulent marker and get that little spot taken care of there. Okay, so then you want to huff on this to re-moisten the ink. And then we'll stamp it on our piece of cardstock. And then I'm going to bring in my tailor-made tags. I'm going to use this medium-sized tag right here, and I'm going to crop that out, and I will be right back. All right, so here's my tag, and I'm going to place it on my card just like that. But I do need to stamp some sentiments here, one on the front and one on the inside. And I'm going to be using the Inspired Thoughts stamp set. This is from the main catalog, and I just really kind of like the font on here. It's just a nice, bold, easy to read font, and I just really like it. So let me grab my Blackberry Bliss ink once again, and we're going to stamp it in the corner of the card. Right down here in the bottom. There we go. And then on the inside of the card, I'm going to stamp another sentiment, and I'm going to stamp that just because I have a tough time centering things. So we are just going to not center it on purpose. And then of course for the inside of the card, I'm going to add some glue to these floral pieces. And we will add those to the inside just to give our inside a little bit of interest. So we've got a detail flower here and a bolder flower, and they do layer together really nicely. There we go. And then the little leaf image, I'm just going to kind of sit that on the back. Actually, I'll just glue it down all together. So we'll add some glue all around it. And we'll add our leaf image. And then I'm just going to set this right down here in the corner of the card for the inside. And we've got a few more things to do on the front. So then we can add this to the inside of the card. And then we will add our outside layer. We'll attach our tag. I'm going to get a tiny bit, a little knot of some ribbon. I think I'm going to use Soft Succulent. The first card that I did with this technique, I did use, what do you call it? This appears to be different size than I thought it was. It's totally fine. Okay, and then we'll add our tag. We're going to do that with some dimensionals. I kind of wonder if I obviously didn't cut it long enough, but I think it'll be all right. This one will be mine. I'm just going to add my label right there. And then I have our Silver and Clear Epoxy Essentials, and I really liked how the clear ones look on the tag and then on the side of the tag. There we go. And I need some ribbon. So here is my soft succulent ribbon, and I'm just going to tie a little knot here with the ribbon. And then we will just add that to the top of the tag with a glue dot. There we go. Get our scissors, trim off the ends, and then we'll bring in a glue dot. I have to say, I'm kind of embarrassed that I cut this layer wrong and didn't know it until now. But like I said, it can be mine. So there it is. There is the faux tearing technique. Here are the actually better looking cards than that one. So if you guys are interested in being a Totally Technique online club member, the link to all the information is in the description of this video. Basically, just order out of my online store. Let me know you want to be part of the group. You have to let me know you want to be in. Otherwise, you're not in. And then if you don't order, obviously, you have to start over. And you have to let me know that you're starting over. So that's it. So thank you guys for watching. All the information for the retreat is in the description of this video. Also, give it a thumbs up if you'd enjoyed it. Subscribe to my channel right down here. And I hope you have a fabulous day.